For Dave Holmes.
Check
For
one
Dave
two.
Holmes.
Check 1 2. Mic check for media. Check 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Mic check for media.
You good,
Check
Holmes?
1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for sticking around a little while longer today. We're going to start with some comments by our President of Hockey Ops and GM, Don Waddell, and then I think our esteemed guest will have a few comments. Then we'll turn it over for your questions. So with that, we'll start with Don.
Great, thank you for coming out this morning. Obviously, it's an exciting day for Blue Jackets hockey. You know, I didn't have the privilege to be the general manager of Cam as a player, but I had the agony of playing against him for a lot of years. I know what kind of player he is, and I also know what kind of person he is. Let's go some of the things that I'll highlight. We all know he had a great career. Played 10 seasons here with the Blue Jackets. Second in club history in a lot of things with points, goals, game-winning goals, shots on goals. Leads the Blue Jackets in shorthanded goals, hat tricks. Represented the Blue Jackets twice on all-star teams, quarter century team. And the amazing thing, and I was involved in this process back in the day that he was drafted. You know, he was drafted in the 6th round, which means that a lot of us missed on this player, which goes a lot of credit. You know, when Cam came out of college, you know, there was a lot of questions about size and ability in that, and obviously the first probably 3 games of his NHL career, he proved everybody wrong there. Obviously, his family's all here to support, which is great. His dad told me all the NHL players he coached growing up, 17 in the NHL that you coached. Must have been a great coach. But obviously, Cam means a lot more to this organization. And, you know, I got here last year, and Cam was one of the first names I heard more amongst the community. He's loved in this community. We're proud that he's in this community and be a part of it. And so that's why we're excited about being able to officially have him sign his contract and retire a Blue Jacket. So with that, I will have him, I'm not going to let him read it.
It's the richest contract in NHL history, right?
It'll be the least amount of money he's ever paid. But it's the official NHL contract, and we're going to have, I know you can see it somewhat, but we'll have Cam and I will sign it for you guys.
Sign my life away.
Yep, there you go. You don't. I don't let you read it. I wish I could do that with all players. Document is officially signed, so we're proud to announce that Cam Atkinson is back as a Blue Jacket. And with that, I will. And this is all about Cam, so we'll turn it over to Cam.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate that. Obviously, before we get started, I want to take a moment and say that we're praying for the Foligno family right now. Milana's getting her surgery today, so we love you. We're thinking of you, and we know you got this, our little princess warrior. All right. They say all good things must come to an end. Today I'm announcing my retirement from the NHL. Playing hockey doesn't last forever, but the friendships and memories I've made along the way will. I started skating when I was 2 years old and never looked back. I was set on being a professional hockey player for as long as I can remember. Every school assignment asking what I wanted to do when I grew up, the answer was always the same: playing the NHL. Getting to play in one NHL game is obviously a dream come true for any player. To play in 809 of them, I'm not sure how I got so lucky to live out that dream for the last 14 seasons, 14 years. I obviously want to thank the Columbus Blue Jackets for believing in me and taking a chance on me. I was an undersized kid who went 157th overall. My second year of eligibility, I would tell Porty that I think I would tell everyone that I went 3rd overall in the 6th round in 2008. Obviously, the McConnell family, management, Don, coaches, staff, thank you. From the day I started my career for their AHL team with the Falcons in Springfield, Massachusetts, to my first NHL game here at Nationwide Arena, to our historic win streak, obviously, our first round sweep of Tampa Bay in 2009 playoffs, to the fanless games during COVID, to my last game as a CBJ player, and obviously my first game back at Nationwide after being traded. The friendships we've made, that will last a lifetime. It was so special to be a Blue Jacket and to obviously play in front of the fifth line. To my teammates I got to play with in Columbus, Philly, and Tampa, I just want to say it was an honor. When I think of my best memories in hockey, they'll always be with you. And they're not even the ones on the ice. The card games on the plane, being on the golf course, the downtime in the hotel, dinners on the road, the laughs and jokes, I miss it already. The camaraderie. Thank you to also their amazing families. You made my wife and kids feel at home and like they were part of your family. Thank you to all the players I've competed against. This sport is truly a family and a brotherhood. You've all made me a better player, and I looked up to many of you. And to the fans, you are the heartbeat of this league. Blue Jackets, Flyers, and Lightning fans, you're the best fans in the world, but especially the Blue Jackets in the fifth line. You show up for this team every single night, win or lose. Your love for the city, your team, and its players is unconditional. To my mom and dad, thank you for introducing me to the game of hockey. Some of my favorite memories are the early morning outdoor practices at Greenwich Skating Club and all the road trips we took together. The sacrifices you both had made for me and my brothers never went unnoticed. All I ever wanted to make you guys proud, and I hope I did. Sorry. To my brothers, Steve, Tommy, Brett, and Scott, thank you for always being there for me and having my back since day one. Having your support has meant the world. There's nothing we wouldn't do for one another, and that is what family is all about. To their wives, Sophie, Amanda, Bethany, and Mary, and our nieces and nephews, thank you for keeping my brothers in check and being their person. To my in-laws, Steve, Lisa, Miles, his wife, Catherine, and Hillary, I couldn't have asked for better in-laws. Whenever I was on the road, you guys were there at the drop of a hat. You all allowed me to fulfill my dream and job with a clear mind, knowing you were always there for Natalie and the kids. Without question, you guys would do anything and everything to be by our sides for games, holidays, and special core memories. So for that, thank you. To my kings, Declan and Caden, and my princess Fallon. Everything I do is for you. Being your dad is the best accomplishment of my entire life. I can't wait to be home with you now and start this next chapter. All right? Put the gum in your mouth, all right? To my beautiful wife, my rock, my everything, since day one we met at BC, I always knew we would start a family and grow old together. My greatest accomplishment is our kids and having them with you to raise them with. Through all the ups and downs on the ice and off, you're always there to pick me up. What we have together, the sacrifices you made to allow me to chase my dream, I can never thank you enough. I love you. All right, sorry. When I think about my legacy in hockey, I want it to be that I made a difference. Whether it's through my philanthropic work with the Force Network Fund or the Battery Hockey Academy, I just hope that when people think of me, they think of me not only for the things I accomplish as a hockey player, but the things I'm passionate about as a person. Growing the game of hockey, the game that I love so much, the game that has given me and my family so much, especially in Columbus, Ohio, is so important to me. That is why I started at the Battery. I want kids to have the best foundation, to learn how to be professionals and just all around good people. I hope my story, one where nothing was handed to me, going in the 6th round, 3rd overall, being constantly told no, I could never make it to this level or that, breaking my leg and being told I would never be able to walk again, that I was too small especially. I hope I inspire kids at all ages. Use doubters and negativity as your fire to prove everyone wrong. You are special. No one else will believe that unless you do. I hope our team we had back in 2017 through 19 inspired young boys and girls to try playing hockey. I know we have some of the next great NHL players right here in Columbus, and I hope to be part of their story one day. It is obviously not lost to me that tonight I will be the first player since Johnny Hockey, and maybe the last to wear number 13 for the Blue Jackets on the ice. Johnny and I were really good friends. as well as Meredith and their kids. And I'll be thinking about him and his family as I take my final lap tonight. And lastly, taking my final lap will be one of the most humbling moments of my career, getting to finish my career where it all started, in a city that became home, with the fans and the people that took me and my family in as one of their own, with my family and my friends watching, is nothing short of a dream come true. Thank you to the Blue Jackets organization for welcoming me back home.
Now we're going to follow that with some questions. So who would like to go first?
As long as it's not Porty.
We'll go to Aaron Portside from Athletic.
Sorry to disappoint you. Cam, you're an East Coast kid. Can you tell me what you thought immediately when Columbus drafted you? Did you know anything about the city, and is it surreal being here today, being so much a part of it?
You know what? I remember that day like it was yesterday. Obviously, all of my 5 brothers are here right now in Columbus, and I think one of my brothers was like, "Where the hell is Columbus, Ohio?" And sure enough, we all thought the same. But coming here, I remember from my first training camp, and kind of engraving yourself into the city and into the community, and clearly starting a family. And all 3 of my kids here were born at Riverside, and with the Battery Hockey Academy, we have so many friends outside of the hockey world here, and this is home for us, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And you know, like I keep saying, I'll keep harping on it. The best fans at Fifth Lines are some of the best loyal fans in the league. I've been part of some other organizations, and I'll tell you right now that they are a special group through the ups and the downs, and just happy to be able to call this place home.
Good, Brian Hedger, Dispatch.
Hey, Cam, congrats.
And Brian, thank you.
I remember during the 2020 COVID kind of pause, I was talking to Nick Foligno about your guys' sweep of the Lightning in 2019. And one of the things that stood out was he said that after Game 4, you know, just leaving the ice and seeing like workers in the stadium and in different places, just everybody thanking him and people with tears in their eyes. Did you have a similar experience in that? And like, what are some of your favorite memories from that particular, you know, event and what you were able to do for the city at that point?
I mean, that whole experience was remarkable, and to be part of that was truly special. But I got interviewed earlier today on 97.1, and they asked pretty much the same question. And I remember going back into the locker room after we embraced being on the ice with the fans. And well, I remember getting off backtrack. I remember getting interviewed after the game by Jody Shelley, and I almost threw out the F-bomb, you know, because I was like, let's go, you know, and I was, obviously emotions got to me, and sure enough, go back to the locker room, and luckily we only had one kid at the time, Declan, but my phone ring camera was like ding, 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 like every 5 minutes, and it was like packs of 3 to 5 kids, young kids, that would put brooms outside our door, and they were like to the camera, let's go, let's go, and so I'm like looking at them, I'm like, you guys should be asleep right now, what the heck's going on? But I mean, there were so many different moments from that, you know, at the end of the day, it was our first time ever making it to the second round, and hopefully this year's we get past that. But just the fans, you know, they deserve it the most, and the tough times that they've had for all of us at the earlier stage when the organization started to the first 5 or 6 years that I was here in 2011 to 2015, and that was truly for them. And I think Nick was the first person to say that in his interview, that it was special to be part of, but the city, the organization, the fans deserve it more than anyone.
Go back to Aaron Portside.
This is for Don and Cam. There's been some discussion about Cam joining the organization. Is there anything official in that area? Can you say what capacity that might be?
No, we've met several times and trying to figure it out. We both have thoughts about it, and obviously, as I told Cam too, right now, you know, coming off playing, same thing I told Rick Nash a year ago. You know, you've missed your family for so many years. Make sure your first priority is taking care of the kids and your wife and all that, because you know that those years you never get those years back. So yeah, nothing official, but we are talking about it.
I told Don I'm not coming for his job, but I think he knows and everyone knows, especially in this room, how much I love, you know, living here and being part of the Blue Jackets organization. So hopefully one day I'll be able to come back and work for the organization.
Betsy?
Cam, one of the architect of some of those really successful teams was Torts. I'm wondering if you've heard from Torts, and secondarily, just what kind of impact he had on those years for you.
Yeah, you know what? I was actually just talking with Torts yesterday. He was supposed to be here, but he's working for ESPN. And first thing he said was, "Don't F it up when I come out here." So, you know, Torts, he coached me 8 out of my 14 years playing, and I owe a lot of my success to him, not only as a player but as a person, and how he got me to play the game on a daily, nightly basis, not only obviously during the game but in practice, and how you go about your business, and how you act away from the rink, and how it's all about this brotherhood and this camaraderie. And you know, I think he ingrained and instilled that in everyone that has played for him. And don't get me wrong, him and I had plenty of FU matches, which I texted him and called him back. I was like, I'm going to miss those, but I think we should still have a couple of those FU conversations just to kind of get the juices going. So, you know, him and his wife have been great for me and Nat and our kids. And he's already telling me he wanted me to go out and bring the kids to his farm and have the kids ride their horses and all that stuff. So, yeah, no, it's I appreciate everything that Torts has done for me in my career, and I owe a lot of my success to him.
I'll go to Jeff Svoboda, BlueJackets.com.
Cam, congrats. You just mentioned you came here, it was third overall pick, I think it was?
Yeah, third overall.
Coming here as a sixth-round pick, a guy that had been doubted so much, what did it mean to you just at the beginning of this organization, believed in you, gave you a chance, and allowed you to flourish here over so many years?
Yeah, you know what? It's I owe a lot to Rob Riley, who was a scout at the time, who I knew, and I saw him, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. He was back in town for some reason, and he kind of told me the story of how it all went down on the floor with Scott Housen and Chris McFarland at the time, and they kind of gave him the look and was like, "Hey, we're going after your boy," sort of thing. So that was pretty cool to hear. So yeah, it's any player, all they want is an opportunity, right? And it's how are you going to seize that opportunity in that moment, and how are you going to prove all the naysayers and all the doubters, and how are you going to turn that and use that as a positive? I think that's always been my mindset, that all that has fueled my fire to allow me to be the person I am today and the player I was. So, yeah, I just can't thank the Blue Jackets enough for just that opportunity, because that obviously started my whole career.
Go ahead, Mark, front row.
Hey, Cam. Talking to Boone Jenner today, talking to Zach Orensky today, they really credit you for their leadership and a lot of what they go through. So when you hear something like that how you influence them, just how proud are you of everything that, you know, from the time up till now, what they've been able to do?
Yeah, you know, those two are very special players and special people that are still, I consider, some of my best buddies. So I talk with them a lot, and, you know, I have to give, well, Rick Nash obviously was my first captain, so I learned a lot from him early on in my career. But Nick Foligno, you know, he worked at becoming a leader and how can he improve every single day. And just listening to him and being around Nick, I think those two can attest that we learned a lot from Nick, and the trickle-down effect happened. And everyone leads different ways in how they go about that, but those two are some of the best leaders right now, and you can see you know, how Boone kind of carries himself on and off the ice, as well as, you know, Z, and the type of player that he's blossomed into, which we've all known what he's capable of doing. And it's great to see him do that, and we're going to need him to step it up a little more. But no, it's those guys are some of my best buddies, so love those guys.
Go to Mike A. Race here on the left, Columbus
Cam.
Dispatch.
Kim, everyone's got to prove themselves in this league. Your bar was higher for reasons that you described. Can you talk about what it was like early and when you realized that you had made it?
Yeah, you know, my first training camp came in, and right after we had rookie camp, which I think kind of helped get into those game-like situations and feeling comfortable on the ice. And then I just allowed myself to play in that training camp, and I remember doing some pretty good things and scoring some goals and setting up some plays. I remember being in Carolina and setting up R.J. Umberger. I remember all this stuff. And I think that was one of the last games. And sure enough, obviously cut day, and I think it was me and Ryan Johansson. We went in individually, and at the time they were kind of messing with me and asking me how I felt and how I thought I did, and I'm like, I thought I played okay. And like, you think you made the team? I'm like, I don't know. You guys tell me. And like, call your parents because you're going to be on the opening night roster. So that obviously was really special. And walking out from the room to go to the bench and calling my parents and looking around, that was truly a pinch me moment that I'll never forget. The feeling where, you know, what I was wearing and looking around when no one was in the building, and just thinking to myself, all the hard work has paid off.
Go back to Craig Mears, back right.
Hey Cam, after you had your surgery a few years ago, how important was for you to come back and play and then retire on your own term?
Yeah, that was those were some of my darkest days. Obviously, not only for me, but for my family. And yeah, sorry, I don't know why I'm getting emotional. It just was. I didn't know kind of the avenue I wanted to go down, just because, yeah, you know, you're being told this and that, and I just knew I wasn't right, and didn't know what I needed to do to get better. And finally was Anthony Vaccaro, who I give all the credit to, who is a neurosurgeon in Philly for the Eagles. And this was after I've talked to probably 5 different doctors, and really no one had an answer for me. And I'll never forget, this was kind of the final straw. I walk into his office, and this was at like 7 in the morning, and I'm just tired and I'm pissed off. And he's like, tell me a little bit about yourself, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Cam Atkinson. He's like, where'd you go to school? I'm like, Boston College. He's like, stop. I know someone so famous that went there. I'm like, who? And he's like, me. I'm like, yeah, I kind of like this guy, you know? So and then he just reassured me. You know, he's like, I've been doing this for 40 years on elite athletes in football and hockey. I will get you back to playing to your elite level, but most importantly, I'll get you back to being a dad.
Go to Dave Metzold.
I know you'll be around the guys pregame tonight. Do you have a pregame speech planned?
Oh, I was hoping to get a pregame meal here. You know what? I'm just here to go on the ice and do my part, and you know, I was hoping to be in warm-up so I could start seeing some pucks at Makar and McKinnon down there on the other ice, but I know Olivier would have my back on that. But no, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the moment as it comes, and excited to take one final last lap. And kids are gonna light off the cannon. We're trying to figure out which kid is gonna do that. Yeah, Declan's raising his hand, but no, just exciting for the opportunity and to one final salute. Hopefully I don't fall.
Go back to Bobby Mack.
Cam, I just want to ask you about, you were talking about, you know, a young guy coming in here. You were part of that core with Nick and David Savard and Seth Jones, all those guys. You were part of growing up in that, and then all of you guys leaving, and now coming back here today to finish it off. How surreal is it for you, everything that you've experienced, not just in the NHL, but just in this organization and with those guys?
You know, time flies, right? It's I never thought I'd be in the situation right here that I'm sitting in front of you, beautiful people that I've known and seen for a long time. And you know, that some of those teams are some of the most fun I've had, as well as all of the wives and their families, and getting together all the time. And you know, Foligno would have parties at his house for everyone, and it didn't matter who was in town, and just coming together as a team and growing and winning. I mean, I think winning, as we all know, solves a lot of problems and issues, but we did it the right way, and how we went about our business on the ice and off the ice. It's, you know, those guys are truly special people, and it's I'm glad that hopefully we made the organization and the fans proud during those times, and so yeah.
Brian Hedger.
Cam, I just want to give you a final chance to give a comment about Blue Jackets superfan Tony Mazza.
Oh dear Lord.
What do you think about that guy?
I don't know. I forget who Tony Mazza is. That Tony Mazza still haunts me to this day. I'm not a big prankster. I never have been, but I had to obviously get Nick back for that. And you know, I can't say the things I want to say, but I got him back pretty good with the pizzas, and I actually had to stop sending pizzas because he was going to fight everyone at his house. But it was good. Hopefully I got it back. But goddamn Tony Mazza.
Dylan.
Cam, if you go back to the day you were drafted or around then, and they were to tell you that you'd play 800 games in the NHL and have the opportunity to retire with the team that drafted you, what do you think you would have said back then?
That's a pinch me moment, right? It's I think every player just wants to make it to the NHL, and it's hard enough to play one game, but to play that many games and to play a lot of those games here with this organization and obviously retire here. I mean, everyone has individual goals. This was never an individual goal for me. I mean, I've been very open and honest. I started my career here, and I wanted to finish it here, and to kind of go out on my own terms that way, it's truly humbling and a great feeling. And obviously having my family and all my friends in town, and you know, it's I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Bill Rabinowitz, back left.
Cam, could you reflect on the time when you were a teenager, I guess, when you broke your leg and were told you wouldn't walk and let alone play hockey again, and you're already facing kind of daunting odds anyway. What was that period like, and how much did that drive you?
Yeah, no, that was definitely another dark time, but I was young enough where mentally I was pretty strong back then. I don't know. I don't know what I attest that to. Just I know, obviously, fast forward to some of the injuries I've had as a pro, and I've been able to surround myself with positive people and different kind of books that have put me in the right positive mindset during darkest times. But I remember that day playing in a tournament, breaking my leg, going to the hospital, local hospital in Boston somewhere, and the doctor kind of made a joke about coming in after I got the x-ray. I was like, oh, there goes his hockey career, and that was the first time I actually started crying. And I think my dad was there at the time, and he pulled him aside, and I almost beat the crap out of the guy. But no, it's I give a lot of credit to Dr. Downing, who unfortunately passed away. He was one of the surgeons for the Jets, and his kid was on our team at the time. And we drove back to Connecticut, and he got his A team to, to work on me and put a rod and 2 pins in my leg. And I was skating, I think, 3 or 4 months after that. And it's a situation like that where someone tells you what you can and cannot do. And for me personally, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I always use that as motivation to prove people wrong and give you a big FU, right? And actually, believe it or not, when I committed to, that was freshman year of when I was at Avon, and sophomore year in the summer, I played in the Havant Holinka tournament. And a week after that, I committed to Boston College. And so I think as an FU, we sent that doctor the article of me committing to Boston College on a full scholarship. And I don't know if he ever got it. I don't know if he even remembers to this day. But but yeah, I mean, it's. I hope every kid, they don't listen to the doubters, because it's easy to do so nowadays. And use that as motivation to fuel your fire and prove people wrong and believe in yourself. That's what it all comes down to.
Time for a few more. We'll go to Mark Hirsch.
And when did you know that this day was coming, and then who approached you about making today the way it worked out?
Yeah, kind of last year I kind of mentally prepared myself for this could potentially be it as a player, and I was totally fine with it, and kind of wrapped my brain around, okay, transitioning to being retired. And I don't think it took me a while to tell everyone, just because when I got back here, anytime I'd go out, people were like, where are you going? What are you doing? Are you signing? Are the Blue Jackets signing you? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe, we'll see. But deep down, I kind of knew I was done. And I approached Johnny McConnell, and had a meeting with him, and then obviously had a meeting with Don and Nasher, and just kind of told them my thought process and how I started my career here and wanted to end it here, and hopefully one day work for the Blue Jackets to some capacity. And they obviously are, I'm very grateful and thankful that they're allowing me to have this night for myself and my family. That I think my family are the ones that deserve it the most. They put up with me through a lot, and they deserve this more than I do. So it's truly humbling, and I cannot wait to get off the ice so I can have maybe a cocktail or two.
Far back, Dave Holmes, Channel 6.
And Cam, I love hearing East Coast guys sometimes talk about Midwest life. And I'm curious, you mentioned the fifth line. Is there an illustration, a story, something maybe out in public with fans that you could share that made you feel appreciated by this community?
Oh, man. I mean, there's so many different experiences that I've had with the fifth line, and maybe not so much them embracing me, but me embracing them and showing my appreciation for them. And during playoffs, I remember I was with my dad, and I was living downtown at the time, and we were walking from downtown condominiums to go eat somewhere on High Street, and fans were parked outside. This was the night before a playoff game. I think one of our home opener, or not home, but one of the first playoff games here, and they were camped out here. And so I'm like, maybe I can. It was his idea at the time, but it was Nat. Sorry, it was my wife. It's my wife. I don't want to get in trouble here. It was my wife's idea. Usually always is,
Smart man.
Yeah. And she was like, why don't you get their tickets for them? And, that's just one way of me showing my appreciation for the fans. And, they deserve it. They deserve to get into the game and watch, and hopefully those fans enjoy themselves.
Go ahead, Brian Geesen's in the back.
Cam, with your kids being the ages that they are, how will you try to relate your career to them, since they obviously didn't see it? What do you want them to know about you as a player? What do you want them to know about your career in the National Hockey League?
Yeah, you know what? Thank God for YouTube, right? Because the good YouTube part, not I'm coaching both boys at the Battery, and actually we just got back from our second tournament with Declan. It's his first year of travel hockey, and I'm undefeated, Don, so I won 2 championships, in case you're looking for a coach. But you know what? I want them to know how hard I worked, and nothing was ever given to me, and never take a day for granted, and prove people wrong. And there's always going to be negative people that come into your life, and especially nowadays with social media. And just hopefully they're proud of me, and they have no problem. They have no problem with the clout and being like, who my dad is and what he's done. And then as soon as I start coaching Declan, he's like, don't talk to me. I don't want you to tell me anything. I'm like, well, so I'm like, Jesus Christ. But no, just hard work and dedication and loyalty, and family's the most important thing.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, Bobby, I got 2 words for you. Game over.